Hello everybody, Jim Phillips here. Welcome to an episode of Java with Jim. I appreciate you being here as always. Hope you're having a wonderful week, at least having a wonderful week since the last time that we spoke. I'm going to do a little thing, easy for me to say, right? I'm going to do something a little bit different today. And it's probably going to come off more or less as a rant. And the reason is because of the way I'm feeling right now. I have just gotten to the point, and it's not the first time I've gotten to this point, but I've just gotten to the point where I'm just so tired of all of the untruths that are being spread. And I don't mean in one particular area. It's not specifically politics. It's not specifically about religion. It's not specifically about anything. It's just untruths in general. And it frustrates me because the more and more and more that we grab hold of these untruths, and in fact, hold them as true, the more we attract that same stuff. And it's not any different than the way the social media algorithms work. We all know that if you go on to one of the social media sites and you look something up, or you start looking at different videos, or you start looking at different articles on a particular topic, well, your box is then going to be filled with that same information. And it's whether it's true or not, it's just that that's the information that you've shown that you have an interest in. So the algorithm continues to give you that information, which means that whatever that untruth is that you might be buying into is being reinforced and reinforced and reinforced. And of course, the more that we see that, the more likely we are to hold on to it. And of course, this feeds into our unconscious biases as well. And those are those biases we have that we're not even aware of. They could have come from the way we were raised. They could have come from, in my experience, in my belief, previous lifetimes. It could just be something that happened during this lifetime, but we hold these biases now. And those biases also bring to us information that reinforce that particular bias. Now, the interesting thing about all that is it doesn't make it true. In fact, there's a quote that I posted not too long ago, and I've actually got a piece of art made out of it. And to me, it's a very interesting quote that I think speaks volumes to what I'm talking about. And it is that anything can be true to the one that holds it as such. However, it doesn't make it the truth. It's only true to that individual based on their beliefs, based on their biases, based on their experiences, and based on what they continue to receive. But again, it doesn't make it true. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I know the truth, but I do know that I'm discerning enough to know what is not the truth. And I know that the more that I weed through all of that, and the more that I discard what I truly know is not the truth, the closer to the truth I'm going to get. And it's a process. And there will be things that I come up against in my life that at one point in time I will hold as true, only to find that they're not true because I receive new information, or I have a different experience, or I meet a person who gives me a different perspective. And maybe I start to filter out some of what was held as true, but in fact was not true, or at least is not true anymore for me in this particular point in my life. What does it mean? It means we have to become more discerning. Actually, it means we have to be responsible. We have to be responsible for our lives. We have to be responsible for the thoughts we hold. We have to be responsible for what we give attention to. We have to be responsible for who we hang around with, who might influence us in a way that is not helping us as we try to discern the truth. You know, it's kind of interesting. I was thinking about this the other day, and it just dawned on me that this was kind of a funny little, I guess, acronym. But a lot of the stuff that we have within us, we could say is just BS, right? BS. Take that as whatever you want to take it. It's just BS. However, it dawned on me, and this is really where the crux of the matter is, the BS within each one of us is our belief system. And we need to look at that. We need to truly look at and try to understand what it is we believe, why we believe what we believe, whether or not what we believe is true, whether or not what we believe is actually our beliefs, or was it put on us by somebody else or said by somebody else, and for whatever reason, we took it on as our own belief. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the more that we continue to pursue that belief, the more we're going to be given that reinforces that belief, again, whether it's true or not. So at some point, we have to take charge of our thoughts, definitely have to take charge of our beliefs, make sure that what we hold is true is in fact true or leading us to the truth. We have to make sure that we are adjusting, adapting when we need to. I think the term that a lot of times is used is we have to pivot, move in a different direction. But I think it's also, we got to get really, really clear on what is it we want? What is the experience of life that you want? It can't be what we're having right now. I know that what I see around the world, this is not the world that I want. And it's certainly not the world that I want for my grandchildren. In fact, I just had a new grandson born a couple of weeks ago. And I was thinking about this right after he was born. Is this the world that I want him to inherit? And it's not. I want him to inherit much better. And so many of us say that we've got to take care of what we're doing right now because we are leaving our children and our grandchildren a world that we would never or could never imagine. Well, we're the ones that created it. We're the ones that are continuously creating it. And we're the ones right now that can do something about recreating it so that the world we in fact leave for our children and grandchildren is the world we would desire for them. But we can't keep doing the same things. We have to make change. We have to embrace change. We can't let people speak on our behalf. We have to speak for ourselves. But speaking for ourselves means we have to get to the truth. Again, taking responsibility for your BS, your belief system. Making decisions based against your belief system that is held in truth. What's the world you want? What's the legacy you want to live? And of course, we see wars that are going on across the planet right now. And history has shown us that's not the answer. Every time there's been war, what happens? More and more people get killed. Does it ever resolve the issue? No. Maybe we get to a point where there's a peace treaty or something, but does that hold? No, obviously not, because we still see conflicts in those areas where there were peace treaties coming and going all the time. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for us to actually live the world, live the life that we say we want? When are we going to make decisions that are not so self-serving that they are a detriment to other people? Now, one thing that I do know is true, and this is something that I try to practice. I practice it, and I believe it, and that is that whenever I do something or I have an experience that's in my highest good, I know that it wouldn't be in my highest good if it wasn't in fact in the highest good of everyone, because that's the way it works. I can't have something that's in my highest good that's to the detriment of other people. That's not my highest good. But if what's in my highest good benefits other people, then that is in fact what is in my highest good. And the same holds true for all of us. What is in your highest good is in the highest good of all. We hear all the time, we talk all the time that we are one. Well, if we are one, then what is the highest good for one is in the highest good for all. Are you making decisions that benefit you, but that are the detriment to other people, that hold other people back? Or are you making decisions that empower you, and in your being empowered, that gives you the opportunity to uplift other people? Maybe through the decisions that empowering you, you become an example of what is possible for other people. Again, you're benefiting them because now you're showing them what's possible for them, and that could be empowering to them. As I said, this is going to be kind of a rant. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I get so frustrated when I just hear and I see and I experience and I observe, and I just see so much being done that is not benefiting any of us. Now, the appearance might be that it's benefiting those who are making decisions, and maybe it benefits them on one level or another, but it's not benefiting them from the higher perspective, truly from the soul perspective. And it's certainly not benefiting us when they're doing things that are what they believe in the highest and best good for themselves, thinking they're doing it on behalf of us, because they're not. let me just finish with this. Take stock of your life. Take stock of your beliefs. Take stock of choices that you make, actions that you take, the consequences of those actions. Is that leading you to the experience of life that you want to have? And maybe more specifically, is that allowing you to be you as you would want yourself to be? Are you experiencing you in the highest way possible? And in benefiting and in experiencing you in the highest way possible, you will be benefiting other people. It's time. We got to start thinking differently. I think we've also heard this before too, that you cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness in which it was created. So we have to raise our consciousness, and that's truth. We have to get to the truth. We have to discern from what is not the truth to get to the truth. And it's incumbent upon each one of us to take on the responsibility that each of us has. I appreciate you. I hope you gained some benefit from this rant. I don't know what it all means. I don't know if it's going to impact anybody, but it's something I needed to get off my chest. Have a great week. I appreciate you. Until next time on Java with Jim, take care and be well. Bye now.